Hello everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we'll be going over the draft recap for the Copenhagen Sawsbucks in the Gala Defenders League Season 2. And if you don't know what Draft League is, there will be a description down in the description, which was actually quite weird to say, but it's there, so you can go and find out, and I think we should just get straight into the picks. So I had 11th pick overall, and if you're not new here, you might have seen my Run the EM World Trophy. And I really love, like, the thing that I had going with, like, Dragapult and Obstacle Ninetales as, like, an offensive core. So I was really hoping to, obviously Dragapult make it into me because, some super now for a while. It's not that exciting anymore. But someone who I thought of as a friend, maybe even as a brother, sniped me. We never talked about it, but, it doesn't really matter. It was gone, and I was sad, and I didn't know what to pick. So I ended up picking EXCADRILL because when in doubt, pick EXCADRILL, I guess is the new slogan. No, but like EXCADRILL's, pretty damn good. It's decent speed tip, but the good thing is, you have Sand Rush. So obviously Sand is a very nice utility, and with Sand Rush you can outspeed everything, barring, I don't know, maybe Choice Scarf Dragapult is faster, I don't know. But yeah, so EXCADRILL has some utility in that regard. It also has Mold Breaker, so things like the ROTOMs, we can absolutely mollywop with Earthquake. And we also have the utility that it can be pretty bulky. We have a pretty nice HP stat, so it can be pretty bulky. So like Stealth Rocks, Rapid Spin is also things that EXCADRILL obviously does get, so that's quite nice. Like the only thing is basically Corviknight is annoying for it, and that's like one of the only things, so it's pretty decent. Next up, since we had to have G-Maxs in this league, I decided to pick mine, and it was actually such a debate because I had plans of a couple of things that I wanted, and like finding something that would not like basically just copy typings that I would already get like offensively from those was kind of a little bit of a pickle. But I went with INTELEON, G-Max form, which obviously like the good thing is it's quite fast. 125 base special attack, it's quite good. We are forced to hold a Pokeball, so like I can't have an item on it, but like since we're that fast and we hit so hard, it's kind of okay. And I do believe we can get work up kind of to set up, and obviously the really nice thing about INTELEON is first of all it ignores things like Storm Drain and Water Absorb, so like, that Gastrodon you thought you had, or the Seismitoad that you thought you had, they're dead to this thing. And a base 160 Water type attack is nothing to sneeze at from this thing, especially not if we have matchups where we can get over work up potentially and get to +1. It just destroys everything, and otherwise like it's a nice pivot, nice utility, nice offensive water typing, and it gets a little bit of coverage, like not the craziest, but like alright coverage. Next up, I picked the kill leader that we have in the EM World Trophies right now. It's not overall, but on our team, and that's Alolan Ninetales. Like I really love using this thing. I love ice types and I love fairy types in Draft League, and especially ice types. Like ice is such a good offensive typing. I know that everyone's talking about ground types, but ice types, that's where the money's at, and Ninetales just does well. Like it hits okay, like it's nothing crazy, but you can nest it, you can Coal Mine potentially if that's your kind of thing, but you also have Aurora Veil, so you can kind of do that. You can also be a little bit annoying, and like you can bait some things in, and maybe you can get toxic off of them, or you can just spam Blizzard and hope for the best. And usually that's not actually a bad strategy against most teams, because ice resists are basically just often you have your water type as your ice resist, like something like that, or your steel type, and steel types are obviously take it on pretty well, but like barring Corviknight and Skarmory, many of them don't really have recovery first of all, so you get them worn down a lot. And for the water types we have Freeze Dry, so problem solved, I guess. Up next, I actually decided to go with something that we already have, but get a bulkier version. So I got VAPOREON, and there's a reason why I really like VAPOREON. It's by far not the first time I've used it. It can be super duper bulky. Like it has a very good HP stat, and it has like an alright special defense. Not the best defense, I think we can all agree with that. But the HP largely can make a bit up for it. But the nice thing about VAPOREON that I really loved, other than just being able to Wish Pass and Toxic and Heal Bell and Baton Pass, is the fact that you have like 110 base special attack, which is a lot. Which means that if you invest into this thing, you have like the best wall break, and people won't expect it, and I love that. Sometimes you don't want them to always expect offensive. You need to keep them on their toes, but just the fact that it can people prepare for one thing and then you bring the other one, is just like, oh shit. Like that's an aspect that I like. And again, wish support can be super nice, especially for like other parts of the team that we haven't drafted yet, you never know. Next up, I wanted to secure my sand setter because there was another person in the league that was kind of drafting something that could look like they might want a sand setter too. And basically my debate was between Hippowdon and Gigalith. Obviously Hippowdon being the more expensive one and, you know, the more physically defensive, while Gigalith obviously like being rock type and having sand stream becomes a very good special wall, but like without the recovery. And in the end, I ended up going with Hippowdon as one of my free picks, which obviously you can't just choose the best and most expensive Pokemon for your free picks, but you know, I ended up going with that and using a lot of points. But it's just, Hippowdon is just so reliably physically strong, and again, you have kind of the same as with VAPOREON, that you have this thing that's often seen as a tank, but still has like a pretty good attack. You actually even surpasses VAPOREON, it has 112 base attack, together with also having, you know, okay coverage, because like you have Earthquake, you also have Rock moves, you have a little bit here and there. I said Slack Off, you also have things like Yawn, so you can be like super annoying and just like chip things down, or you can slap a little bit of a tag in and then just destroy the lives instead. And it gives me another stuff rock obviously than EXCADRILL, which is nice because it can probably come for rocks sometimes, you know, it has its matchup where it's like good defensively, but not every week, you know, we don't want extra force into that position, so I think Hippowdon kind of covers that pretty damn well. Next up, I wanted another remover, and I also needed a dark type, and MANDIBUZZ was still right there, again, like a pretty decent, expensive pick, but considering you get defog, and you get Ruse, you get U-turn, you get, did I say knockoff? I don't know if I did, but yeah, like Ruse, knockoff, defog, U-turn, you can taunt, like, MANDIBUZZ can just be so annoying, like, obviously it doesn't hit hard, I think we can all agree to that, but against physical Pokemon, like, you can slap on foul play and suddenly you're doing something, and Brave Bird is still like 120 base power attack, so even if you don't have the best attack stat, you're still going to do something, otherwise, again, you have the pivoting, so like, you can use it now, so you're never just stuck in there being able to do nothing, like, if you know that they have this thing, the real Wars MANDIBUZZ, you're doing nothing to it. You just click U-turn when they swap it in and you keep up the momentum instead. So I think, like, to not have EXCADRILL, have to have Rapid Spin 2 again. Basically, I want to free up EXCADRILL. And I will also admit there was not a lot of dark types left that I liked. MANDIBUZZ was one of the few, so it had to be her. Next up, I decided to dig a little bit deeper in the pool because I wanted a fighting type, but we used a lot of points. Like, you can see up in the tiered ones, we only had like tier 3, tier 4, and tier 5, and I had like 2 pretty expensive free picks, so we're looking like pretty low. And there was this fighting type here, Passimian, was in tier 4, and you know, that's pretty cheap because you know, you hit very hard. You don't have the best speed, but like base 8 is okay. And with U-turn and close combat and knockoff, and it also has some other coverage moves that I keep on forgetting, but it doesn't really matter, you probably know more about it than I do. It becomes pretty nice utility, and like you can either be in the situations where, you know, okay, there's these things you don't have speed and you accept it, and you can slap on like a life bulb or like a Choice Band, whatever, or if you want to speed them, you can slap on a Choice Scarf and problem is solved. Like, there's a lot of options, and that's actually just a little thing that I just thought of is the MANDIBUZZ gets Tailwind. So there's that too. we can get some support with that, and also it just punishes things like Arcanine and Cineroll with Intimidate, like with Defiant, which is quite nice. Also, in case someone decides to bring Sticky Webs, we can get a +2 attack boost by swapping in, so that could potentially be nice, you know? So looking at the team now, fighting is a little bit oomph. We don't have a single resist to it at all. And I also did want an electric type. And there's basically one Pokemon that just takes care of that perfectly. And that's Rotom. Because obviously it's immune to fighting. It's also immune to normal, and it's also immune to ground. Because ground is, again, like barring MANDIBUZZ, also not the thing we deal with the best. So Rotom can kind of help with that. And Rotom has like a pretty nice speed. Like 91 is, you know, it's pretty nice. You're faster than base 90 at least. I guess that's something. And you can Thunder Waves to help speed, or you can Will-O-Wisp things, you can Pain Split things, you can Nasty Plot. Yeah, and if you lose status moves, you can use Hex too. And it has a good amount of utility. And the thing that I really wanted for was just like, first of all, an extra defogger. You can never get too many defoggers. But again, it gives us some pivoting, and you know, Ball Switch from Rotom is not the worst on basically anything. And combine it with Ghost, there's not a lot of Pokemon that resist both Ghost and Electric. You can get a lot of damage off that way. It doesn't really get the nicest coverage. Obviously, it's a Rotom, but it has that going for it still. For the last couple of picks, I was very torn. I will also add, I was sniped so much during this draft. Like, basically, like, INTELEON, Ninetales, and Vaporeon were the only ones I'd really planned to take that I actually got. Everything else just went absolutely abysmal. But I was standing here. We have 3 picks left. I don't have a grounded poison type. And I was, like, looking for the team. It's just like, okay, that team has toxic spikes. That team has toxic spikes. That team has toxic spikes. I couldn't really skip on the grounded poison type, and I also wanted a fire type, and we were looking at some different options to kind of cover it, because I also need a grass type, spoiler, funnily enough, and it was a little rough, especially because I will also say now, because we had to pick a tier 5 Pokemon, and they were so bad, except for some reason Jolteon was there, and I don't know why. That was so dumb. Like, I wanted Jolteon to when I saw it, but you know, it was definitely undervalued. But yeah, that was completely besides the point. Tier 5, absolute garbage. So, like, basically, I need to cover everything that I wanted in 2 picks. And in the end, I went for Celeste to cover getting some fire and a grounded poison type. I don't remember what the other thing I looked at was. Actually, the other thing was, like, having Vileplume and then Flareon from tier 5, which, you know, it would also give me the grass type, which, you know, we all love Vileplume. I really like Vileplume, but I wasn't really sold on Flareon. And Flareon was literally the best fire type from tier 5. So that wasn't really, that was a little rough. The good thing about Celeste is that it gives me a very resist barring EXCADRILL. So that's, you know, pretty cool. And it's fast and it can hit hard. And between like poison and fire, you know, normally you want your steel types in against the poison types, but here you can't. And you can toxic basically anything, and you can nasty block, and you can be fast, and you can be annoying, you can be like sub-toxic. I think it can become a super annoying Pokemon, and you know, we do at least have a Dragon Ball, so we can also, you know, set up an Espeon, and then you can obliterate the dragons too. So I don't think Celeste was a bad pick, and it gave me what I needed basically, and the one thing that I really appreciate when I draft is that all Pokemon can have an offensive pressure, and barring Mandibuzz, I think we kept that like pretty good on this team this far. At this point, like I had decided what my grass type would be. And I was looking at tier 5 because no one else had a reason to pick that grass type. So I was like, okay, this one's safe. I can pick it at the end. So let me look at what there is in tier 5. And oh, it was rough. But at the end, I ended up going with BEARTIC. Because not enough with having sand, we do have 9 tests with hail. And this thing is here. And obviously, it can hit pretty hard. It doesn't become the fastest thing on the start. First, like, BEARTIC is still pretty slow. But considering, like, it gets Aqua priority, and it can, I think it also gets Sword Stance, so, like, get up a Sword Stance too, and be under hail. What stops you then? Like, literally, what stops BEARTIC in that case? So, just so that they don't only have to prepare against EXCADRILL, we also, you know, keep on the bear so they never know what they're going to face. Basically, there wasn't really any better options. Is the conclusion. And, you know, again, it gives pretty nice value in that regard to kind of throw people off here and there, so we can hope. So last pick for the grass type. I end up going with Applesauce, which also gives me a dragon typing, obviously, which there were literally no other dragons left. Like, even Drodigon was gone, and that's not that weird because Drodigon is actually okay. But like, I think basically like there were some really expensive ones, like there was Komodo. I don't know if there was anything but Komodo, but there was Komodo. Like, that's a Komodo. That's not really that exciting. So yeah, it ended up being Applesauce. The good thing is it's a good fire resist, and you know, fire is a little, I was about to say it's tough on the team, but it's not really because we have 2 water types, but still, electric types also kind of a little bit better taken care of. It's probably not like, it's not an every week kind of bring, but it's, I think it rounds out the synergy because we both have Fire, Water, Grass Core, we have Fairy Steel, Dragon Core. So that's basically the team at the end. So overall, considering how bad the snipes went all the bloody time, I'd say we did pretty well getting something out of it. So we have to see how the season goes. So throw me your predictions to how you think the season will go. And without further ado, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for more GDL. And in case you're craving more Draft League, there's the EWT season right here. I was about to do it the wrong way. And YouTube tells you to watch the video down here, so you should watch that too. Bye!